The Cadillac CTS-V, a notoriously difficult car to buy from salvage auction, and I just so happened to wind up with two of them at the same time. One of these is a manual and the other one is an automatic. Now, these are both not necessarily the best example, even by salvage auction standards, especially by Cadillac standards, but that doesn't mean that they can't be an absolute gold mine for parts.
That dog don't hunt.
I was optimistic we were going to hear this one run once we ensured that there was no damage to the engine itself, removing all of the carnage in front of it, but it looks like we have some sort of communication error with this. They are known for CAN bus issues when you have front-end impacts like this. I can't even get the OBD2 scanner to connect to the car. So, unfortunately, we aren't going to get to hear this one run, and the black one over there, it showed up without keys, so we aren't going to get to hear that one run either. These two CTS-Vs are just going to have to make it up to us with stellar leak down numbers. I think Tim's a little bit ahead of us on the manual car over there. Let's check in with him on his progress. How's she coming along, Tim?
Pretty good, except for the stupid shifter.
Oh yeah, is it kicking your butt?
Yes. It's one of the worst things on this car so far.
You find anything interesting, or is it all pretty straightforward?
It's all pretty straightforward. Somebody chopped up this exhaust pretty good. Looks like a 3-year-old welded it, but otherwise, yeah, it's all nuts and bolts.
And I just noticed this over here. That would be a little bit of a problem. These subframes are unique to these CTS-Vs, so that's a little bit of a bummer that we didn't get a good subframe out of this one. And I'm going to assume the one over there is no good either. Fingers crossed we don't have any shifter issues on our car, but it is the automatic, so I think we'll be good to go. Yeah, I don't see what the big deal is. That wasn't hard at all.
Let this be less.
Dang it. Stupid Cadillac. Boom. A lot of effort, but worthwhile for a beautiful aftermarket Corsa exhaust. All those old sayings about timing being extremely important couldn't be more true in this instance. I just got a title mailed to me from IAA, and included with that is the set of keys for the CTS-V that we just dismantled.
Who can?
I think that was that brake line. Boom. Easily the most important part of any teardown is going to be the leak down results. We didn't get to hear either of these cars run, so really it's going to be a big mystery. We're hoping for good numbers, but we do have some room on these cars because we got into both of them pretty cheap. If we have to tear down a motor, we can still be very profitable, but the most direct route to a profit is going to be the least labor possible, which means both of these leak down good. We won't have to do an additional teardown. Oh, is it on the first one? Did we hit the first one right off the bat? Look at that.
What a moneymaker.
Every once in a while, you get one of these on its top dead center right when you hook up the airline, so you don't even have to put the wrench on it, and it balances out, and that looks like a solid 7.
Solid.
Now, we're testing the automatic drop out first, and the reason for that is that this chassis has like 182,000 miles on it. So I was more curious about the leak down on this one, and so far it's coming back pretty darn good. Now, Lee did a reel on this car, and we were contacted by the nephew of the previous owner. They told us that his aunt drove this car daily from about 50 miles outside of Jacksonville. Oh, dial down the pressure a little bit. 6? Mm-hmm. And that's where the mileage came from. Did send us a picture from the accident scene. He said that somebody ran a red light in front of her and she basically T-boned them. Luckily, she is completely fine, which is a very, very good thing, because if you have an aunt that is driving a CTS-V with mods on it daily, she's got to be a pretty cool lady. Totally good.
That's awesome.
It's a little bit low on pressure. Call it a 7.
7, yep.
What's that old saying about red line a day keeps the carbon away? 182,000 mile LS motor with a beautiful leak down. This one is going to be sold kind of as a, like a builder's type of engine, though. It looks like the rear main seal might be leaking, probably because it's original. This one, though, would be an awesome, awesome drivetrain setup to put into something that you're going to go through, put a cam in it, give it a complete refresh, and this thing will absolutely rip. This engine, on the other hand, we have had a lot of carbon that we have been dealing with on it. We've gotten pretty good numbers out of it, but it's taken a decent amount of effort. This cylinder over here, though, we got a good number, but it's giving us extremely inconsistent results, and the air is coming from exactly where we don't want it coming from. So previously all the air was coming out of here, but because we have the valve cover off, you can hear a massive amount of air that is leaking past the rings. And because of that, I just can't sell this engine as a good usable engine. Even though we got a good leak down from it on a couple of the tries, it's obvious that there's something going on with this where it needs to be gone through. So this one, it's gonna go ahead and get torn down, which isn't the end of the world. The money in this is always great on LSs, even when they're in pieces. And this one being the manual transmission, I think will be more desirable as far as being able to sell the transmission quicker. So out of the two, I'm happy that this one is going to be the one that we're going to tear down, but I'm not happy about having to tear it down. I know Tim's not happy about having to tear it down either.